right, guys, welcome to another episode of Brand Builder TV, where we want to share with you that brand loyalty is king in today's world because it maps the trust and how important and how powerful you need to leverage your personal brand in 2020 versus 2004. So let me introduce our next guest, Sunni Hepburn. I'm actually reading it from her LinkedIn profile. She told me it's up to date, and we're going to dive deep into that. So, Sunni Hepburn, sales development at Deluxe Entertainment Services Group, Deluxe Entertainment Services Group, and you are California State University, Fresno, up in Lancaster. So we're still kind of in each other's backyard. I'm in North County, San Diego. So we're at least in Cali. So give us a little 30,000 foot view. Who is Sunni? Where'd she come from? Where's she at today? Where she see herself going? We're going to chunk that down.
Wow. Okay. So, California native, born and raised.
Okay.
Been up and down California. Like you said, I was in Fresno. I've been in sales for 13, 14 years without aging myself. And I've been in sales for so long, like that's where my career is, and that's what I love to do. I love talking to people. I love solving problems. I love all that. But as I've been in my sales career and commuting, I don't know if anybody knows, but Lancaster versus Burbank, LA, it's a commute. So I'm in the car a lot. And during my career, I've stopped listening to radio and started listening to podcasts. So just by the universe, I became a podcaster. So that's another part of me. I've been podcasting for about a year almost. And I also started a natural dog biscuit business.
Girl.
So going into our 7th year, technically. So I got my hands in all kinds of things.
Yeah, the entrepreneurial DNA. That's why I tell people once they kicked me out of high school, I realized I had the entrepreneurial DNA.
They kicked you out.
Yeah, so it's interesting. We actually have a few things, very cool things in common. I actually have a line of dog supplements myself. So
Nice.
So and we're actually moving in a really, really cool direction in 2020 in part of that world. So it's been the dog world has been my world for a real long time. So
Nice.
Awesome connection there. And I also own and operate a fire restoration business out here, so I'm on the road quite a bit as well. So I'm heading up to Compton this morning, and then Rialto, and then doing. So I'll be on the road. So I actually love it. I love being on the road. It's my motion therapy.
Okay.
So I love that. I learned that motion therapy through marriage counseling. So.
Well, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why I like commuting. Everyone's like, "Are you crazy?
I love it.
For all this time?"
I love it. So let's talk about. You brought up a great point. Podcasting, right? And I believe you're in the masses versus the people that aren't doing it as much. And what I mean by that is, I believe that 2020, your personal brand should be the flagship, is going to be the flagship versus your business brand versus 2004 when it was reverse, right? Your personal brand wasn't nearly as important as it is today. And I believe one of the biggest reasons is what we're doing right now, right? Podcasting. I believe that I just did a talk last week with a group of entrepreneurs, and I said, how many people here, raise your hands, are getting themselves on 3 podcasts a month with your ideal audience? Not one person raised their hand. I said, you're losing. You're losing in 2020 because think about the leverage that you could do on a podcast, right? Get in front of that ideal audience, repurpose it in so many ways, and create a relationship with the guest or with the host, depending on who you are, that goes really deep instantly. There's I don't believe that there's a platform or a networking division or opportunity, for lack of a better term, that gives you that so instantly, right? I just learned about you being in that dog world, and now we just made a connection, right? That It's not it. Where else are you going to make that instantly,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So I want you to share with the audience your thought on branding and marketing 2020.
Ooh, okay. Hmm.
Well,
Branding and
let's
marketing.
talk about podcast, right? How important, I mean, how much power do you believe that is in the business world, whether you're a commission salesperson or a business owner?
Well, it's very powerful because I mean, honestly, I was listening to podcasts, but then I was like, well, I want to get the word out about my dog biscuit business. I want to let people know what I'm doing, and this is it. Like, if you want to buy from me, you have to trust me. You have to know who I am. You have to be someone of integrity, right? You're not going to buy anything from someone who's shady or someone that you don't really have a connection with, that you know nothing about. So in 2020, it's a new era, right? There's podcasting going on, there's YouTube, there's so many different mediums where you can get in front of your clients, in front of your customers, in front of, your peers, like what we're doing now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're going in 2020, it's very bright, it's exciting, and it's new. And I'm looking forward to it.
I love that. And one of the things you talked about and the word you used, and I want to go deeper on that, is trust. Because I believe in 2020, understanding this, that, and I actually have it on all my marketing stuff. It's in reverse, but it's called your authenticity becomes your commodity, right? Your vulnerability becomes your commodity. So in order for people in 2020, because of our social media platforms and the reality TV shows, they want the real, right? They want to know that you walked in their shoes. They want to know that you fell down, got back up, wiped yourself off, and moved on. When I do a speaking engagement, I do a keynote workshops, and I get introduced, I make sure that I tell the event planner, hey, listen, Dave Daly, the Monster Motivator, built and sold 3 companies in 3 different industries, but also crashed one to the ground, went through a bankruptcy, figured it out, kept moving forward, right? Because that's where the connection is. That's what people want to know. Left back in the 2nd grade, diagnosed with ADD, said I had a learning disorder, never graduated high school. At 19, I'm sitting in a jail cell looking at 8 to 10 if things don't go my way, right? And here's what happens every single time we do Q&A at the end. It never fails. They want to know why I'm sitting in a jail cell at 19 and what business did I crash to the ground, right? Because they want that connection. They want to know you're real. And I think it's 10x now in 2020, 21, 22, right? They want to know what's that story? Why is it that you decided to move in the dog world direction? What is it? Give us that connection. And that's what's going to separate you from everyone else. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah. So with my business, it's called Beauty's Biscuits. And I've got she's almost 12. She's laying over here. My 11-year-old lab, she had stomach issues.
Mm-hmm.
So she would just throw up after eating certain things and eat grass and couldn't keep anything down. I was like, I got to stop. What can I do? And so then I found out that pumpkin is like a cure-all.
Yeah, pumpkin seed.
Exactly, for digestion, for upset tummies, even for, dog parts. It helps.
It's magical.
So it is. It really is. So I started making dog biscuits for my dog. And then I had some coworkers and I started giving them biscuits. And a friend of mine gave me like the best advice. He was like, you need to have multiple revenue streams. I was like, okay, let's look into that. And then I just turned it into a business. I started selling to my friends. I started getting marketing materials together. I started going to like farmers markets and different events. And now I'm like advertising my business on podcasts. So it just kind of, snowballed into that. It's slow growing, no doubt about it. I was like on a hiatus for a couple of years, but in 2019, I kind of jumped into it and it's really taking off and it's really exciting. And that's where we are.
I love that. And one of the things that you just shared, and I want to go deeper on that, is in what I teach in some of my brand builder boot camps, is going so deep. Matter of fact, 7 levels deep on your why. So you shared with us right? A big part of your why. And I'm a big believer that when your why becomes big enough and when it becomes bigger than you become unstoppable. And just that little story that you brought us behind that black curtain, right, of your why now starts to connect. And I learned this through some other mentors, but we do a thing called 7 levels deep on your why. And here's what's interesting: when you go 7 levels deep, the first 3 levels is here, right? The next 3 levels is here. And that 7th level combines both. So it actually ties in your soul. It's so interesting, this process, 7 levels deep. It's so interesting how that
Yeah,
I learned
I've
that through
never done that.
Dean Graziosi, the big infomercial guy that used to sell real estate, this short little thin guy.
Wow.
Used to do real estate. Now he's partners with Tony Robbins, and he learned that from his marketing guy. And I just, yeah, I'm not looking to reinvent the wheel, but yeah, 7 levels deep on your why when you're really honest goes from your head to your heart to your soul. And that's
Mhm.
what I think 2020, 21, 22, the times we're living in is just unprecedented. And I think it's getting even more, um, it's moving in that direction even more. I mean, we're streaming right now from your location to my location, and we're going to repurpose this in so many different ways to bring that value and get in front of the right people instantly. So, sales, some of your sales experience, give us some of that.
So my sales experience is predominantly inside sales. I started off selling people. No, I'm just kidding. I was a recruiter. I used to be a recruiter, and then I went into website sales, technology sales, up in the Bay Area. And then I came down to Hollywood, and I was selling virtual fax services. So people still fax,
Wow.
virtual fax services, phone services, for 10 years. And I was running a team there, and it was just time for me to make a move. And now I'm with Deluxe, and what we sell is film and TV distribution.
Oh,
We've got a media asset management tool. The company's kind of rebranding into like a SaaS platform company, because they've been in business for over 100 years, delivering the films to the cinema, to the OTT, your streaming and your broadcast. So we do that all day, every day. So now what we've done is created this new technology to manage your assets, to make those deliveries for you, to, keep more of your money. And it's a game changer. It's new. I'm new to the entertainment industry, but it's very exciting what's going on, and just learning, all the things that the company's had its hand in. So exciting. I've
so
switched.
I'm curious, does your company, do you, do you connect and again, I very interested in what you just said. Does your company connect and manage like movies and TV shows and produce them and then connect them with like a Netflix or an
Um,
HBO or
we do work with Netflix, HBO, Showtime,
okay,
Hulu, Vudu's, all that stuff. So what we do, we have a creative side, and
okay,
then we have a distribution side.
okay,
I'm on the distribution side. So the creative is more, during production, some
yeah,
post-production creative work, localization, things of that nature. On my side of things, we can, manage your assets if you wanted to. And if you're like, okay, well, I've got to deal with Netflix, for instance, or with iTunes, and we need to make the delivery for you. We need to package and deliver in QC,
oh, got you,
localization,
okay,
all that stuff.
okay.
So we do that with the majors, the minors, and the indies.
Okay, so someone came to you and said, "Hey, I have this TV show, or I have this idea for this show." Then you would say, "Okay, they have to come up with the funding, right? And then you guys are the subcontractor that makes sure that it gets done."
Exactly. We're the
Gotcha.
vehicle. So we make sure it's in all
Very
of
cool.
the right, schematics and systems and
Very
all the
cool.
right
Cool.
formats
Cool.
and
Cool. Cool. Cool.
stuff.
Cool. Awesome. Cool stuff. How long you been with them?
3 months.
All right. Had a girl, so it is updated. Yeah, your profile is definitely updated. Had
Told
a
you it's
girl.
updated.
Awesome, awesome. That's cool stuff. Very, very cool. Very interesting. But at the end of the day, I always say, you've had your hand in a few things, different things. but it's not what you do, it's how you do it, and understanding the world you actually live in today. And I think that's what separates successful business owners and commission salespeople than the ones that kind of fall away, because life doesn't care, right? Life says, this is it. You're either jumping on that evolution train or it's running you over.
Yeah.
One of the two. So I love, and did you say you had a podcast, or you have a
Yeah.
podcast? Awesome.
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
It's called Book of Lies podcast.
Book of
And
Lies.
Book of Lies. Yeah. So it's me and my sister.
Okay.
And we talk about fraud. We talk about con artist fraud, scams, shams, wows, all that stuff.
Okay.
So we'll be coming up on a year next month.
Girl.
We've got about 50 episodes out right now. So we're a branch of the true crime tree.
Oh.
So for, frauds and scams and stuff. It's exciting.
Awesome. Very, very cool. Love it, man. That's such a great value, right? It
Educational.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. And it takes a lot of, it sounds like you guys do a lot of the back end stuff. So it takes time. It gives people their time back instead of trying to figure out who's scamming who. Just go to your show.
Yeah, exactly.
Take all the guesswork out. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Love it. So, anything else that you want to share that you could think of about branding and marketing in 2020 versus 2004? And I just use 2004 as a number, but because it's far enough away where there is such a contrast and such an evolution that we've been living in the last 10 years, 12 years.
Yeah, it's a different ballgame. It's a different ballgame altogether. 2004, what people are mailers, emails, calls. We're still doing that right now. That still happens, but you kind of have to step it up. So, kind of like what we're doing now, we're having a conversation and we're talking about it and we're brainstorming, and it's information for other people. So, hi, now we know each other. Thanks. Links all over. But it's a different ballgame. So we're, like you said, broadcasting from San Diego to the Antelope Valley. But it's also being seen across the world. Now people know about, your dog business. They know about my dog business. They know about my podcast, and it's marketing. It's different things. So like you said, you need to be on 3 different, platforms or shows or podcasts a month. That's going to be my new goal, by the way.
Thank you
very much.
Awesome. I love it. Keep us posted on that. So, and I'm a big fan of combining, and people ask me this, why do I combine commission sales reps and small to medium-sized business owners? Because again, if you're a commission salesperson, that's how I started out, right? Before I started my first business, straight commission, no salary, no gas allowance, no anything like that. If I didn't bring it in, I didn't eat. And what I realized is that worked for me because I wasn't micromanaged. Let me do my thing. Let me get out there and let me figure it out. And then I my evolution kept moving forward, and then I started my first business. But the reason I combine them is when a commission sales rep can understand that they have an opportunity to build a business within a business, now you're going to win, right? Now you're going to be able to win. And it's so important, like high-end commission, if you're selling high-end vehicles, yachts, planes, whatever that is, real estate, right? Again, what's going to separate you in 2020 is now you're going to share with us the real. Share with us that family that never thought they were going to be able to buy their first house, or that investor, right? Or that person that you got that mortgage for, and your personal life, right? To wherever you're comfortable. Share that real world stuff with us, because that's what's going to separate us and create that trust. So I love that. It's such a different game, like you said, 2020, 21, 22, and it's only getting more and more powerful with your personal brand. So I love it.
It really is.
I love it. Now we just have to come up with a name for you, right? So it's like Dave Daly, the Monster Motivator. Let me throw something out, right? A little food for thought. I did a keynote back in November here in Southern California. It was a 2-day event, and there was, I think, 12 speakers, and I happened to be fortunate enough to be one of them. Long story short, we'd have meetings before the event.
Mhm.
And it was all the speakers. And some people were coming from out of state, so they were doing virtual, they were doing Zoom. And
Mhm.
I'm sitting next to this lady, and she's one of the speakers, and um, her nickname was uh, oh man, I just drew a blank, but it was about getting through um, um, tough times. She lost a child and getting through those tough times.
Mhm.
And the lady at the Zoom said, "Oh man, you look so familiar." And then she used her nickname. Then she goes, "Oh, that's it." So I think it's real important. You don't have to, but I think it just takes your brand to another level when you
Mhm.
can connect a nickname, right,
Mhm.
with your brand, like some sort of nickname for your dog uh, products. I think it would just be, I think it would be really cool. And I think you had that story in you. You just
Mhm.
have to sit with that creative part of you and
Probably,
find
yeah.
that. Yeah. Oh, no question. No question. I can feel it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just my 2 cents.
Now you have to give me some. You have to give me some suggestions, or what you're thinking. What are you
Well,
feeling?
I think it's got to come from you, and I think that you have that creative energy where if you could
Mhm.
sit and just spitball yourself, right?
Okay.
Start to spitball, and then once you stay. So let me share this with you. I believe that life has trifectas, right? And one of the most powerful trifectas that life has is ask, align, and allow. What that means is ask means clarity. Start to put it out there, right?
Okay.
Align means inspired action, not what we hear on Instagram all day long, hustle, grind, hustle, grind. I believe it needs to be inspired action. That's because that's when the flame never dies out. And
Mhm.
last but not least is allow, which means expectation, expected. And when you can follow that trifecta, eventually you're going to win. So I think you just sit with yourself. You have that creative energy, right? You have that creative mode. Just
Mhm.
sit back and keep talking, keep thinking about that story that you just share with us. And
Okay.
I think it's going to come. And once you come up with those names, shoot them out to me.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
do it.
I can do
Awesome. Awesome. Love it. So anything else that I missed or anything else that you want to touch on before we do jump off? I want to be respectful of your time.
that. No, I mean, I think we talked about a little bit of everything. What I'm doing in my career, like I said, with Deluxe, it is new, it is exciting. And if anybody out there needs distribution services,
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I actually have some really cool things coming up in 2020, so I will keep your contact because
yeah,
I'd like to learn more about what you guys offer for sure.
definitely.
So we got some
Sure.
really cool stuff coming up. So
Hmm.
and it's never a mistake.
Never,
It's
never.
never a mistake. So we connected on LinkedIn. So guys, use those platforms that are at your disposal. And at the end of the day, if you're on one platform, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, I just opened my TikTok account a few weeks ago. Um, whatever platform you are on, understand that you are a global brand, whether you like it or not.
Yeah,
So why not leverage it? Why not run with it? So I'm excited to stay in contact with you.
yeah.
Excited to learn more about the company that you're representing now, and then also anything I could do to help you with your dog treats. Let me know.
Yeah, definitely. Are
We're
you, just
on.
by chance, in April, they're having, what is it called? Goldie Palooza in Coronado or something like that?
Oh,
That's near
cool.
San Diego,
That's
right?
that's my backyard.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there. Beauty's Biscuits will be there.
Oh,
We're
cool.
Langan biscuits. So a
Awesome.
couple different types of biscuits. So we will be there at Goldie Palooza in April.
Awesome. Awesome. Keep me posted,
Okay.
and keep me posted on the nicknames.
I will. I need to okay, that's my
So
homework.
there's the end. There it is. Right by that date, you're gonna
Yes.
have a
Okay.
brand new branding nickname that nobody's ever gonna forget, like the Monster Motivator.
Okay. I love it. I love
Awesome.
it.
Awesome. Hey, thank you so much for taking the time. And I
Thank
know you
you.
have a lot of balls in the air, so thank you so much. And it was awesome connecting with you. Anything I can ever do, don't hesitate to reach out.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a great day.
You too.